Hello, soon to be eighth grade families. I am excited to present our new electives for our rising eighth graders. I'm Dr. Dumaresque, principal of Nettingham, and this is the presentation that we gave to our soon to be eighth graders today. So one of the first things we mentioned is that they will, of course, be in eighth grade soon, and they will take a number of required courses that should not come as a surprise. Things like language arts and social studies, world language, and of course, they will also have these new electives. So we like to talk to students about what are electives. And what we tell them is that these are extra classes they can take because they're of interest rather than one that they're required to do, something like language arts or math. And as we mentioned, required courses were on the previous slide. And these might be classes that they pick up based on what they enjoy currently, or maybe a future interest that they want to learn more about. And many of the courses here that we're creating also have ties to the high school where they can start to get a little bit of a foundation for next year. So next year we are enhancing these elective options. And as a rising eighth grader, they have 6 different electives to choose from. And based on what they pick, they can select either 3 or 4. So here are the new courses. Making Money Moves, which is a financial literacy course, Digital Game Design, a coding course, The Magic of Movies, a film studies and creation course, Beyond the Brush, our studio arts course, Band, instrumental band, and chorus. So the bottom 3 classes are classes that have existed in the 8th grade program, and the top 3 courses are brand new courses that we've created. And I'd like to give you a brief description now. The descriptions are also linked at the end of this slideshow if you want to look at those a little bit again and a little bit more in depth. So Making Money Moves is a project-based course that introduces students to financial concepts and helps them focus on being more financially literate in their lives. Students will look at things like making a budget and look at the impact of credit cards, which we all know is very important to our future lives. Digital Game Design is a coding course, and it introduces students to the basics of computer programming so that they can actually create a video game using Scratch. The Magic of Movies is a film studies course, and they're going to look at movie making from various perspectives, like from the eye of a critic, an actor, and a screenwriter. And eventually, the course will culminate in creating their own short film proposal, similar to a trailer. Beyond the Brush is our studio arts course. This is our traditional art course where students will look at things like watercoloring, sketching, charcoal drawings, and a lot of other mixed media. And of course, we have band and chorus, which students can elect to join. So what might a potential schedule look like next year? So let's imagine that you have a student who is not going to elect to be in band or chorus. That student would be able to take the other 4 electives that I have mentioned. So you can see here an example schedule. So let's imagine that it's semester 1, which is the first half of the year. And the way that the electives will run is they'll operate on an even and odd or every other day cycle. So for example, in period 4, let's say day 1, 3, and 5, the student will take the Magic of Movies. But on days 2, 4, and 6, the student will take Digital Game Design. Then in the second half of the year, which is around mid to late January, those electives will shift to the other 2 electives. So on odd days, they will take Beyond the Brush, and on even days, they'll take Making Money Moves. Now, if a student does want to participate in band or chorus, they can do that. And band and chorus are full year electives, which means they can choose 2 additional courses from the ones that I've mentioned. So let's imagine that on days 1, 3, and 5, all year, they're going to take band. That means that in the beginning of the year, they might select to choose digital game design on days 2, 4, and 6. And then in the second semester, that shifts to Making Money Moves or whatever else they pick for the second part of the year. And again, notice this is going to a alternate day cycle versus a days 1, 2, and 3, and 4, 5, and 6 cycle, which is a change. Students who are what we call double majors and want to do band and chorus still can do that. So they would take band on those alternate days, days 1, 3, and 5, and they would take chorus a different period on days 2 and 4, so twice in a cycle. So this is when chorus will come out of physical education time. However, students don't need to pick if they're going to phys ed or not, because here's another major change. Now, all students will have an additional experience during their phys ed class. So all students will be coming out of phys ed 2 times in a cycle, and they will either receive intervention support class or an enrichment class. So students who participate in Quest or would like to be that double major, band and chorus, that's when they will come out of phys ed during those times. Or students who have STAR, who have a little bit want a little bit more time to get organized or do some makeup work, that's when they will come out of phys ed. Or this is new, students identified for Math Lab, which is a math support course, will also come out of that time. All students in 7th and 8th grade will take one of the classes that I noted here. And a big reason is that we want to make our phys ed classes a little bit smaller so that we can increase participation. So again, what's a brief summary of the major changes? We have brand new electives. These courses are going to run on even and odd days. 7th and 8th graders will take these instead of Math Expo and STAR. So STAR, which used to be for everybody, will be for many, but not for those in Math Lab, Quest, and those who are double majors. And finally, all students will come out of phys ed twice in a 6-day cycle to participate in STAR, Math Lab, Quest, or to be a double major. And why are we doing this? Well, we want to offer students more choice so they can explore their future interests, but we also want to provide time to both help and challenge our older students. We wanted really to make sure that kids didn't have to choose between band and chorus and phys ed anymore, but we also wanted to give more time in band and chorus. And if you notice, the time in those instrumental programs are going from 2 days a cycle to 3 days in the cycle. We wanted to make some of these classes smaller so that kids can get more personalized attention. And then we wanted to start small so that we can get feedback and make improvements for the future. So the next steps is that in addition to this recording and this presentation, you're also receiving a Google form so that families, you can help your 8th graders select these electives for next year. Please make sure you fill it out with them, and please make sure that you complete this by July 12th. If you have any, I'm sorry, June 12th, which is next week. If you have any questions about these electives, you can ask your guidance counselor, myself, or Mr. Rand. And if you want to make any changes after that June 12th deadline, please email Dr. Dumaresk, me, directly over the summer, but the deadline is August 1st so that we can have our schedule finalized. Finally, I've included a resource slide for families. All of these will be clickable in the PDF of this presentation that I send along with you. And I hope that these resources help to answer some of your additional questions. Thank you so much. And if you do have questions, please feel free to reach out. We're happy to answer them. We are very excited to be able to work with your student next year on these new electives, give them more choice, more support, and more enrichment as needed. Have a very safe and healthy summer.